Psi Factor by Chris Myers, Book 4 of the Aladdin series. This is going to be a short excerpt. Prior to what event is taking place in the story at this time, Hankura has gone over the history of he and Shell, where they met, their stint with the explorations, surviving Zivismar. I'm not going through that because if you haven't read them, that would bring spoilers to the situation. So he is in the bar speaking with Captain Odeon about taking his family to Valran. And this is Hankura speaking at first. I'm telling you these things so you understand that I am not playing games with you. I haven't got time for that, and I'm certainly not in the mood. Pausing, Hankura took a swallow from his glass, and Odeon followed suit, waiting for him to continue. Is it fair to estimate that 3.5 million credits will pay off your creditors and repair your ship? Hankura asked bluntly. Odeon swallowed, choking a little on the fiery-tasting liquid. Yes. All right, then. I can provide that without too much trouble. In exchange, as I said, I want passage for my wife and our 2 children and me to Valran as soon as possible. Then Hankura paused, quirking a dark eyebrow, knowingly at the young man across the table from him. What's the catch, right? It crossed my mind, Odeon admitted, keeping his youthful features schooled into an emotionless mask. But even without deliberate probing, Hankura could sense his churning inner emotions. As I said, Shell and I are Psi-mates, grade 8. I'm mainly a telepath, but she is also a psychokinetic healer. Our 5-year-old son is dawning. That's it, snapped Odeon irritably, shaking his head ruefully. You must really think I'm desperate if you think I'd take on a Donner. I think you are, Hankura countered earnestly. I think you're just as desperate as I am, Odeon. Do you know what we've been through? My son has existed in a nearly unbroken catatonic state ever since his powers began to emerge several months ago. Shell and I can't reach him. There's nothing we can do to help him. Nothing. Hankura raised his glass to his lips and took a deep pull, closing his emerald eyes as the fiery drink burned its way down to his stomach. Jamin needs more help than we can give him. We'll never have a normal life without the kind of help he can get on Valran. Valran is our only hope. He paused. I won't lie to you, Odeon. There is some danger. Jamin did have one lapse, and fortunately, the damage to his governess was reversible, but... And you want me to take him on my ship? Do you think I'm insane? The young captain demanded indignantly. He's my son, Hankura murmured vehemently. Odeon calmed a little in the face of Hankura's quiet dignity. Look, Odeon, I can't deny he's potentially dangerous. Any psypath is potentially dangerous. If we had been there when he reached this particular crisis, his governess may not have been injured at all, but we weren't there. On your ship, Shell and I will both be there to monitor him constantly, Hankura continued. It's most likely that none of your crew would have any contact with Jamin at all. And I assure you, Odeon, that if you agree to my proposition, Shell and I will do everything humanly possible to keep him under control. What about your other child? Lara is 3. Even though she's dawning too, the situation is entirely different. Her powers are coming gradually, and she is in control. She is a lovely, gentle child, and we have no reason to suspect that she will have Jamin's problems. Goddess, Jesus, Buddha, and Allah. Odian muttered and took an eye-opening swallow of the carava. You've got me against the wall and you know it. If I turn you down, I'll lose my ship for sure. If I agree, I might still lose my ship and everything else. Odian, I can't deny the facts, but I wouldn't risk my wife and my daughter's lives as well as my own if I believed anything like you fear would happen, he asserted. No, but we're talking about your son, Odian answered slowly. I can't ignore the fact that your feelings might be clouding your judgment. Hankura, there's no getting around the fact that this could be an extremely dangerous proposition for us all. And there could be no danger at all. Hankura countered impatiently. Damn it, he's my son. He glared, slamming his glass to the table so hard that the thick magenta liquid sloshed over the sides. Because of Shell and me, he's the way he is now. We have to take whatever risks there are to help them, or we will lose him forever. We have no choice. Anger and frustration overwhelmed him, and Hankura felt himself quickly losing his perspective on the situation. It was just no good. Why couldn't Odian see what this meant to him? Why wouldn't he understand? Hankura shook his head and jumped up from his seat without warning, his eyes flashing green sparks. He felt just as helpless now as when he was trying to claw his way out of the concrete cell in the Tragan prison camp to help Shell. I gave you my offer, Hankura growled, fighting back his rising temperature. I'm in the directory. Call me by noon with your decision. With that, Hankura started toward the exit. But Hankura, Odian protested, but the Aladdin was already nearing the doorway on the far side of the lounge. Hey, Hankura, wait! The young captain called after him. Hankura! It was a silent beckoning of his mate that stopped him just outside of the lounge in the corridor, not Odian's voice. My darling, your feelings are clouding the issue. You know as well as I that Odian's fears are totally unfounded. Help him understand why we need to take the risks. Let yourself understand that he is troubled as well. Hankura, you gotta understand, Odian asserted and stopped abruptly at the vacant look in the Aladdin's eyes. Then Hankura blinked his eyes into focus. Yes, you're right, Odian. I'm sorry, he said quietly and soothed inwardly by his mate's calmer assessment of the situation. Our problem with Jamin has become increasingly more difficult for me to deal with. I want to help him. I need to help him. But I haven't got the knowledge or the power to do it myself. Our only chance is to seek help from the Walaskans on Valron. If I have to buy a ship to get there, we'll probably lose our home. Shoving his hands into the pockets of his khaki lounging slacks, Odian nodded. I sort of know how you feel. You're offering me something I desperately need in exchange for something that seems simple on the surface. If it were just that simple, I'd jump at the chance. I'm tempted to take the chance anyway, just so I can keep my ship. I want to help you, Hankura. You seem like a right kind of guy. But I might lose my ship either way. And I've got 14 other people to think about besides myself. So far since my father died, I haven't done very well by them. I don't want to make another mistake. Well, I don't want it to be a mistake for either of us, Hankura said. Why don't you discuss this with your crew? Maybe then the dilemma will seem less formidable. You are welcome to come to our home and meet my family if it will help you make your decision. At your convenience, I will provide transportation. Thank you, Odian nodded graciously. I'll calm you after I meet with my crew and let you know when we can come out. Good, but make it soon. If we can't come to an agreement, I will have to make other arrangements quickly. Shell and I have waited too long already. I understand. Odeon nodded again. I'll call a crew meeting as soon as I return to my ship. I'll calm you soon. Fine, Hanker agreed. We'll be waiting to hear from you.